There have been something that I have been thinking about for an extremely long time, and it started to reach the point where I'm thinking about it all the time. Like, I'll be sitting down playing video games, or just eating food, and this thought will just come into my head, and it's getting extremely annoying and also really boring at the same time to just think about the same thing over and over again, and I kind of just want it to go away, but thankfully, I have a way to solve my problem, and that is just to talk about it, because that always works for some weird reason. And the thing that I've been thinking about is I feel like I am watching media wrong. And by that, I mean just any type of entertainment. So, anime, movies, video games. I feel like I'm doing something wrong that is not allowing me to get the same experience that everyone else is getting when they watch these TV shows or play these video games. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wow, that sounds extremely weird. How could you even come down to that conclusion? Well, let me tell you why. Not so long ago, Attack on Titan ended up ending, and this is something that everyone is talking about. Even I talked about it, because this is a very important anime. This is a show that has been going on for 10 years, so a lot of people has basically grown up with this anime. This is probably going to become a very important part of their life, of them having great memories of them sitting down, watching the show weekly, and basically evolving and also growing up with the shows. Basically seeing these characters that you have seen grown throughout the year finally get an ending. It's finally over. And this is something that a lot of people have been feeling, especially when they're watching the last episode. A lot of people are talking about how when they were watching the last episode, it was like super emotional for them. They were crying. They saw all these scenes. And when the anime was finally over and the end card finally came, instead of it saying to be continue, like what it always says at the ending of an episode, it just said the end. The anime is over. A lot of people say that when they saw that, they got really emotional, and some of them almost cried. This is something that you've seen a lot on places like Twitter, Reddit, YouTubers talking about it, and hey, even people in real life were saying that. And this was just something that I just didn't really understand, because I didn't have this feeling at all. I am someone who has been watching Attack on Titan for an extremely long time, even though I wasn't really there since the beginning. I have been with that show for a very long time. It's a pretty big part of my life, whether I want to admit it or not. And when I saw the ending of the anime, like when it was finally over, I was kind of just like, cool, the anime is over. That just got up and moved on. Now I know what you're thinking. This is not really that much of a big deal. I mean, come on, it was probably just wasn't really a show that you didn't really care about that much. But no, this is the same feeling I kind of get when anything ends. Like, again, not so long ago, there have been this manga that I have been reading for years. Yeah, it's kind of became part of my schedule to read the next chapter monthly when it released, and that manga ended up ending. It's over. I'm not really going to read it anymore, and I just didn't really care that much. And after that, it also made me think about me feeling heavy emotions when I watch something. Like, for a good example, I don't cry when I watch anything. Like, I can see the most saddest anime scene of all time, like it could be in the top 10 saddest anime moments, or I can watch a movie that everyone talks about, that it bring tears to their eyes, it made them feel super emotional, and I'll just watch those shows and just have a completely straight face. I'll have absolutely no emotion, and I wouldn't even feel sad at all. And this is something that also happens to me when I play horror games. I have played a lot of horror games during my time, and I can play the most scariest game, something like Alien Isolation, maybe even something like Dead Space, or insert just any horror game that people talk about being actually scary, and I'll go and play the game and has just a straight face. I'll basically have no emotions through the whole game. And this is something that is so common for me that every time when I see something or watch something and it really makes me like feel something, it's something that I'll remember for a long time. Like, you want to know what was the last time a movie made me cry? That movie was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Yes, I am being 100% serious, and I'm not even making a joke. This is something that I saw when I was really young, and it was a movie that absolutely traumatized me. I was horrified of that film. and I still to this day don't understand how people like it. That just makes absolutely no sense to me. And one scene that scared me the most, like this is something that I will remember, well not really one, it'll be two scenes that scare me the most, is the one when that kid got like covered in chocolate. Like that is something that I saw and I was like, that is extremely disturbing. But two, most likely has to be the blueberry scene when the girl eats the blueberry and then she turns into one. I mean, that was something that when I first saw that when I was younger, okay, it scared the soul out of me. That scene is probably the reason why I don't like chewing gum to this day. This is something that I do not do. I don't chew any type of gum. I do not like it. And I single-handedly blame that one scene as the reason why. And the last time I played a horror game, and it made me extremely scared, was also something when I was extremely younger, and that is being Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, I know this is something that a lot of people just don't really believe, especially nowadays, but people need to remember that back then, Five Nights at Freddy's was an extremely scary game. This was something that a lot of people played and was actually horrifying. Even adults back then were really scared of that game. And this was something that scared the soul out of me. Like the first time I ever saw Foxy running down the hallway, I'm shocked that my heart didn't stop right at that moment. Like I just died immediately because he ran down the hallway, then I ended up getting jump scared. And it was something that was so scary for me. It was so bad that I literally had to sleep with a nightlight on, which was something that I really never had to do. But because I just saw a couple of Five Nights at Freddy video, I had to sleep with the nightlight on and sometimes even the closet light on. Okay, that is how bad that scared me. Those were the last two times I ended up watching a film and I had like real emotion. Like it was something so impactful that I remember, and that moment just never really happened to me ever since. That's why that's probably one film and one video game that I will always remember. Ever since then, I've basically been on an extremely long streak of nothing ever making me cry or nothing really making me feel like these crazy emotions. And I don't know why. And I know I'm not the only person like this too. I see a lot of other people talk about this all the time. I'm just trying to come down to a conclusion why. And this is something that I've been thinking about for an extremely long time. And I also wouldn't be surprised if this isn't the first time I end up talking about this, because I think I bring it up a little bit. I just never really made a full video about it. But this is something that I've been thinking about a lot, especially for the past couple of days, ever since the ending of Attack on Titan. And this is just something that I wanted to bring up and want to see if anyone else can kind of relate to this. Because I know I'm not the only person who has this problem. I just wanted to go and just bring it up. Anyway, that's it. This video is probably very scattered, but I hope you can understand my point and see the conclusion that I kind of came down to. Anyway, that's it. My name is Lua. You have a good day or night. See ya.